Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you very much for tuning on our pre-match build-up show. Done that many shows, have to keep up to date anyway. Right, this is a pre-match build-up show and we're going to be discussing Liverpool's last-minute deals in the transfer window. It's lamb short last night. Liverpool finally got two centre-backs over the line, Kabak and Ben Davies from Preston. We'll be discussing all that. But make sure you do get your comments in the comment section below as well. Whatever platform you are on, make sure you do drop a follow on the video and drop a like on the video as well. It really does help the algorithm on all the channels. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. I've got a very special guest with me tonight. As always, he's very much a regular on the channel, Connor from the COP Council. Thank you very much for joining me tonight, mate. You've got a jam-packed show tonight, haven't we?
Yeah, well, obviously Brighton game has been rammed into the transfer window, which has been fun for all of us making videos and that. But yeah, of course, well, I think we can guarantee we're going to be talking about the two new signings. The Brighton game and I think I need a paycheck through the mail because I'm coming on you more regularly now.
Yeah, I'll sort that. Couple of Haribos and a couple of bag of sweets. I'll get them over to you. Right?
That's sound of me.
But yeah, welcome everyone. Hope you're having a lovely night. Anyway, keep safe and well. And obviously a big thank you to the NHS workers and all key workers fighting daily against COVID-19. Real heroes anyway. But we'll get straight into it, Connor. It was a bit of a frantic couple of hours last night, wasn't it? I know you've done your show after the transfer window shut. Really, we'll just quickly go straight into the main man, Takumi Minamino. He was probably a shock departure on loan to Southampton. Let's get the tabs up here anyway, everyone. But just really get straight into that, mate. Discussing. There we go. Oh, I've lost you. There we go, Mackindo. But obviously, he's 26 years old. He's gone to Southampton. But are you happy with this transfer? There's so much going on. I know Jurgen Klopp has discussed in the pre-match build-up show of Brighton for LFC TV today. He discussed it as he has still got a big future at the football club. He's a working project. He's got a massive part to play in his Liverpool career, mate. But I was looking at this and analysing it, and I think everyone on social media, let me know your thoughts on this, Reds. It was an interesting one. He's going to be getting guaranteed minutes. I think obviously Theo Walcott, he's at Southampton. He's just only recently been injured. So potentially could see Minamino playing up alongside an ex-Liverpool man in Danny Ings. What are your thoughts on this transfer?
To be fair, I think I said this last night on, like you said, my show. It's a bit of a 50-50 one, isn't it, really? Yes, it's good for him in the sense that now he should be getting Premier League minutes, which I think, over the last year and a little bit, he's desperately missed that. I don't think we fully used him to his full potential, even when he was with us at the moment. But it was a little bit of a shocking transfer, I'm not going to lie. I think with us being so light up the top at the minute, of course, we got the front three, and now we've got practically Divock Origi and Shaqiri, and that's it now for up top. Of course, we've got Jota.
Is that a bigger indication? Do you reckon Jota's coming back? I think that's what everyone's thinking.
Yeah, I think that is. I think everyone's inkling that Jota is coming back sooner rather than later, which now explains it then, if that is the case. But then I know Jurgen in today's press conference, when I think a reporter asked him about injuries, he said all the same in terms of like Keita, Jota and others as well. But I hope that Takumi Minamino can take this opportunity. Like you said, Theo Walcott is out, can play anywhere across, the front three. He can play right mid, left mid, cam. I would personally like him to be just behind Danny Ings and see what he can do as a Danny Ings partnership. Because as we know from Liverpool days, Danny Ings and Daniel Sturridge, that little partnership looked brilliant and that. But of course, both of them, either Danny Ings was out injured or Daniel Sturridge was out injured. So I'm hoping he can become, a good stable in that Southampton team.
He's going to a manager, Ralph Hassan, and a team, Southampton. It's not like he's going to a West Brom or a Burnley, who are just going to absolutely pump the ball up long. The philosophy of Ralph Hassan, what we've seen when they beat us this season, they're very well-drilled football inside. I think he'll learn so much. I think he struggled, really. I think any player in world football, in the current climate in which most footballers do find themselves, and the whole world finds themselves in, in the normal times, he would be able to explore the city. He's been locked in his hotel room. The only time he's been allowed out was obviously to train, and obviously on match days. He's not really been fully integrated to the culture of Liverpool Football Club in and around surroundings of the city. It's very weird circumstances that we do find ourselves in currently, mate. But I think I'm really excited to see him, mate. I think if he gets 17, 18 Premier League starts under his belt, I think it'd be a massive plus for him going forward. But go off the back, just a quick one, everyone. Just a quick one. Connor, here we go, as you can see here. Let me know your thoughts on this little foul. I've only just seen it, but off camera before we go on. That is probably one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in my entire life. And obviously that was a David Luiz red card. I know he's very renowned for getting red cards, but that's possibly one of the worst decisions I've ever seen in my whole life. But we'll go back onto that, really. Into the Brighton game, obviously, we'll discuss Kabak and Ben Davies as well. Reds, really. Just Chris's comments. I wasn't shocked, really. He's clearly not being good enough in training. Otherwise, Klopp would give him more of a chance. Really, Connor, it's really in terms of, I think, the physicality of the Premier League. The Premier League is absolutely the biggest, the most physical, demanding out of any player in Europe. Do you think him going there will bulk up?
Yeah, like that's the thing, though, and it's not like if we're sending them out to the Bundesliga or the French league or anything like that. We're going to be learning how he copes, in our own league, in the Premier League, which, like you said, is the most demanding league in world football. Which, like I said, though, I hope that he takes the opportunity now, and just like I think Klopp said today, hopefully he can play 17, 18 games. Hopefully he can, build his confidence up, and then we can see then where he is in his development. Because I think if he does flop at Southampton, then I think that then is pretty much the writing on the cards for him at Liverpool. But if he shows signs of becoming, really, really good, then I think he's definitely a long-term project. Klopp said he was a long-term project today in the press conference, which, I think Klopp still has faith in Minamino, but it is now just hopefully he can, get on the ground running.
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. I think that's Minamino will be sold in the summer in this in the future shop window. Cheers, boys. I've just done a podcast with 1892 Reds YouTube channel. Make sure you do head over there, subscribe. Up and coming Liverpool fan content channel anyway. So many, but the more the better, I say. Just connects a load of Reds around the world, but make sure you do head over to the lads. Thank you. Be interesting. Big window. Big window for Minamino. Big move for him, and fingers crossed all good, being good. We've seen him when he played when he played for RB Salzburg in the Champions League. He absolutely terrorised this Liverpool squad, and I think the ability is there. It's just about him getting confidence under his belt, getting goals in the Premier League, and I think come the end of this loan spell, all being good, I think it will do him a whole world of good. But we'll go on to the Ben Davies and Kabak deals now, Reds. Let me know your thoughts on both of these lads. I've spoken to my mate Owen, a Preston fan. He's a massive Preston fan. He really does rate this, lads. Really, make sure, if you haven't checked it out, make sure you do head over to the channel on YouTube. It's a good 5-6 minute interview, really does for the channel, and all the Reds really discussed. He seems like a ball playing centre back. He's a left-sided centre back, which is a big plus for a lot of Premier League sides, and it's fantastic, really. There's not many left-sided defenders in world football, but when you're looking at the top level and the elite level, obviously Laporte, obviously Virgil van Dijk is right-footed, Gomez is right-footed as well, but it's so much easier to balance that defensive structure if you have got a left-sided centre-back in it, Connor, really, and he looks like a ball-playing centre-half. Owen discussed heavily how comfortable he is at the ball with his feet, taking that ball into the heart of the midfield. He wasn't phased. Yes, it's the Championship, but the last Preston defender that we got was Mark Lawrenson, and he wasn't too bad of a centre back, was he? Anyway, so I tell you, if he's half as good as Loro, I know it's a long time ago, but you never know. With some certain players like Jamie Vardy, adapted very well. I just wish a lot of Premier League managers would go for a lot more riskier transfers in the Championship and League One. You've seen, obviously, the young lads at Aston Villa anyway. He signed him from Brentford. What's his name?
Ollie Watkins.
Ollie Watkins, yeah. He's adapted to the Premier League, mate. But your thoughts on Ben Davies first, mate?
I love the transfer, especially that he's come from Tottenham. I know that joke is a running joke, but no. Look, I think it is a perfect and really, really good deal. What are we spending? 1.6 million in total. Staying at 500k up front. Yes, Preston do have I think it's 10% or 20% sell-on clause, which might hamper us. But then, to be fair, if he's good for us or shows signs of being good, then he's either going to stay at Liverpool for a very long time, or I know that Michael Edwards will sell him to a Bournemouth for 20 million. That's how
probably 50 million this rate the English centre backs are going for.
Yeah, but it is. But the both deals look to be brilliant yet again. We're speaking about Michael Edwards being a tactical genius, because like 1.6 million for what people have been saying is one of the Championship's best centre backs.
Yeah, it's the structure of the deals which I've been very impressed with Edwards and Jürgen, mate. I know, obviously, Jürgen spoke about in the press conference today, pre-Brighton, the current world climate which we see ourselves in is very unprecedented, weird times. So weird times do require weird possible transfers. And he said we wouldn't, most of the time, we wouldn't look at a team like Preston and analyse their centre-backs and look, is there availability in the market to get this young lad in? And fair play, Jürgen, obviously, he's had a look around the whole of Europe and looked, obviously, with regulations of bringing players in and out. It isn't and obviously the quota of getting English players in as well. It helps massively. He's 25, isn't he? So, but yeah, spot on there, mate.
Well, yeah, because of course, with us getting rid of Seb Vanderberg going the other way, it opened up an international spot in the squad, which of course was Jose Kabak. Which that deal is, perfect as well, because what is it, a 6-month loan fee? I think we're only paying $1 million for that.
Probably even 500, yeah, €1 million or something. And
then because of course throughout the day, and I think we were speaking in that at Schalke, we're asking for an obligation to buy, and that was probably the worst case scenario for us, because now if he's crap for 6 months, then we can just go bye. We're gonna look for someone else.
That's the beauty of Liverpool, isn't it, though, mate? So obviously teams around Europe, Schalke thought they could get us with our pants down really, and said, right, well, we want these deals in place or restrictions, and Liverpool like, no, we will possibly and we will walk away if he's taking the mickey out of this transfer. I think it's not an obligation. It's Liverpool can buy Kabak if he does well. No, only time will tell, mate, but you're spot on there, though.
Yeah, it's the thing that I think that's funny as well is that people were saying he's at a club that's won one game all season, and which was the normal throwing out there and that, and I'm like, do you lot remember when you were slagging off Andy Robertson,
Shaqiri, Gini Wijnaldum as well,
all of them,
all of them got relegated.
Well, it's look at the gems that Liverpool have signed. Shaqiri won, Robbo won. There's been plenty, and all of them have become world class, and I think Kabak could become world class because he has been touted for it. He has been, suggested to be one of the best young centre backs in the world, which, as we know, Jürgen can change a player from looking, terrible to, looking absolutely world class.
He makes Jürgen's. He makes world-class players. Liverpool, previous years gone by, we've not bought superstars, apart from obviously like Alisson and Virgil van Dijk there, but Van Dijk wasn't even at the level that in which he was currently playing at now at Southampton. He was playing at a great level at Southampton, reaching heights, but I think it's elevated his level. And Alisson's really possibly. Obviously, we played against him and whacked a couple of goals past Roma in the Champions League. But obviously, it's ethos of Jurgen Klopp and obviously the owners as well. And historically, Liverpool, we haven't bought superstars, we've made them, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. I think every single player that you look through the Liverpool side, I think, apart from maybe Thiago, I think, like we've said in the summer and a couple of months since Thiago's signing, apart from him, I think every other player hasn't come in like a superstar. They've they're going to walk out as a superstar. And I think, you said there with the owners for us, and I think we've had to make the decision of signing 2 centre backs on the deadline day, because of course the news with Joel Matip being out now for the rest of the season, which is a huge blow. But now I think we have the cover there now. I think many people, yes, they've said like, oh yeah, we can now put Fabinho back into midfield, we could put Jordan Henderson back into midfield. Yes, that is the case, we could do. I think Jordan Henderson, yes, he is nailed on now, going to be put straight away back into the midfield. Fabinho, though, I don't think he will be playing midfield again this season unless we decide to play Kabak and Phillips, or Kabak and
or Van Dijk comes Davies back with a miracle.
with some sort of miracle. But it is, I think Fabinho now is the number 1 centre back, at least until next season, because look, he's been probably our player of the season without a doubt. And he is so good that the fact that he can be world-class midfield, defense, like that's how good he is. But if you take Fabinho away from that, yes, he'd be good in midfield, but then we've got the gap then behind. And I think to leave, I've seen people saying we should play Kabak and we should play Davies as soon as possible and get that partnership going. I think you kind of have to ease that in a little bit, because if you just chuck him in the deep end.
Do you? If you bought a top class striker, obviously a striker, together, you were light up front.
Together, yeah, I think we have to. We can't start the both of them together. Like, I think, yes, you can throw them in the deep end against City and with Fabinho alongside you, but I don't think you can do it by shoving Kabak and Davies, in the same defence. Yes, Trent and Robbo will assist them massively, but I think it is just a bit too much for them to come in. But yeah, I think one of them will get thrown in at the deep end. I don't think it'll be in this game against Brighton, but I think possibly after the Man City game, I can see one of them starting, for definite.
Yeah, absolutely spot on that. We'll get to a couple more comments as well. Minamino needs games. Spot on there, Chris. Right, Mattox, all right, lads, hope you're both are good. Minamino needs this loan move to adjust to the Prem quicker for Liverpool's sake. Absolutely spot on there, mate. There's been many players, hasn't there, Connor, and everyone, you've looked and analysed when you have come into the Premier League. Even Robbo, like, he was in, out, figure it all out in the Liverpool team. Klopp didn't put him in. Certain players need time to adapt. Some players never adapt to the Premier League, really, Judy. But I think give Minamino time, and as you said at the top of the show, Connor, and Jürgen said in pre-match press conference today, it's about him physically adapting to the Premier League, and Matt Oxford just said there as well, this will give him an absolute world of good. But yeah, Tom, hopefully these additions settle well in. Need some stability at the back, and to get our top midfielders back where they should be. Nail on the head, mate. Absolutely spot on. Liverpool's best play will happen when we do get, as Connor said, Henderson and Fabinho back into midfield, because they will, as much as the professionals, like anything, like in their job, if they're not in the position that they favoured, they're not happy, really. You wouldn't say it publicly, but in heart of hearts, they'll be like, not happy to play centre back. Up the Reds. Hello, Jack. I hope we have a striker lined up in the summer. Mitchell, I think we do, mate. We will do. I think with Michael Edwards in charge, as the tweet, Michael Edwards could sell you a pack of the Starbursts and a Haribo sweet or something, whatever, for the price of £1 million, because that man can sell anything. He's basically the Premier League's Wolf of Wall Street. He'll sell you a pencil if you ask him enough, if you ask him kindly. No, nobody thought Virgil van Dijk was worth 75 million. Then United paid 80 million for Maguire. You never know. That's what happens when you have a well-run, structured club, and the people in charge of the transfers know what they're doing in it, Connor.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere as well yesterday that we've paid less for all of our centre backs, including Deja Lovren combined, than what United spent on Harry Maguire, which just shows you. It just does to show you like what a club and a person knows what they're doing compared to idiots that want to play career mode and spend 80 million on a slab head.
Should have went to like John Lewis or something if they wanted the fridge, not Leicester, but yeah, Kabak will be prioritised by Klopp, but he won't be rushed. I think Hendo will stay at centre back for the next 2 games, and then Kabak will partner Fabinho after Manchester City. Yeah, so Klopp, absolutely spot on there, mate. It will be interesting to see how did you get integrated. Fingers crossed, all being proper. Kabak, he's very experienced in the Bundesliga. When he was at Stuttgart, and then it was obviously, yes, Schalke are battling it down in the bottom in the relegation zone for Schalke, but he would have learned so much. I think Jurgen Klopp said in his press conference yet again, in that period, he's getting attacked constantly. He's got so much time, hasn't he, Connor, to really help develop and nurture. Yes, he's 20 years old, but by all accounts, what is getting read and everything on social media, and obviously the good press from Wagner and his ex-managers, Jurgen Klopp's bezies, they say he's a big character and he's got the attitude, the right attitude. Yes, he's done a couple of naughty stuff off the pitch, on the pitch as well, but hasn't every player's done that? But Jurgen Klopp is a player similar to like when he was managing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang when he was at Borussia Dortmund. He got that out of him, and obviously he's a player who speaks to players on a personal level. He says, right, you're at a football club now, you've got the opportunity to shine, and you showcase why I brought you into this football club, Annie.
Yeah, well, it's like that, isn't it? I know that we've seen the controversial talks with Kabak and the spitting accident that got him banned, and I think Klopp will be able to iron them out of him. I think that's what Jurgen does best. I think Jurgen's one of the best, of course, man managers in world football, let alone a manager overall. But I think the advantage thing that we have here as well is that he's going to play alongside his idol, which is Virgil van Dijk, at some point. Hopefully, if he does stay from next season onwards, which I think that will be a massive boost as well. Having Virgil, learn him, the Premier League, learn him, everything that Virgil's learned at Liverpool since he's joined, really. And I think that is what will, boost Kabak's performances as well at Liverpool. Yeah. Of course, Virgil's in Dubai at the minute. He's not in Liverpool, but of course, the next couple of weeks, months, maybe he'll be flying back to Liverpool to continue his rehab. Which, I think when that happens, then fingers crossed, it'll help him out massively. But it's like we talked.
Even learn from Hendo.
Yeah, well, yeah, you'll learn from everyone. To be fair, even I know Matip won't be there, in the starting 11, but you'll learn from Matip, you'll learn from Joey Gomez, and that. So there's plenty to learn from everyone, really. And I know Robbo will probably, if he starts kicking off, we'll probably, get his year and rag him somewhere. But it is where I think if Liverpool can get Kabak going, I think Kabak could be probably one of the best centre backs, young centre backs.
Yeah, it's one of the most promising centre backs in world football. I think Klopp said that. I think if you analyse, looking around Europe, he's 20 years old, played in the top tier of German football for a couple of seasons now. Anyway, really, he's experienced. Like you said, he's going to be learning from the likes of Van Dijk, Fabinho, Matip. Yes, they're injured, but these are players and characters and personalities, really, that they help young players. And this obviously the camaraderie that Jurgen Klopp has built since he's come into the football club. It's not just about me as a player. It's all about, this is what has helped Liverpool propel them to Premier League champions last season. It's a togetherness in this squad, and it's really helped, and absolutely spot on there. It's starting two new centre-backs together is a much different situation to starting a world-class striker straight away. Suppose, yeah, because I think if you make mistakes up front, yes, it probably would lose your games, but it's like a goalkeeper or a centre-back stay spot on there, and it would impact the results a lot more anyway. How much do you think it would take to get Humming-Son from Tottenham? I know he'd love a move towards. Tell you, mate, Mitchell, if he was available, and Jurgen Klopp was a good admirer. The amount of Jurgen Klopp hugs he gives on every single time we play Tottenham. If he has to take a pick, obviously De Bruyne would be one if Liverpool were to get him in, but Humming-Son would definitely be in my top three of players if Liverpool were to look. But it's Daniel Levy. It'd probably have to give him 500 million for Humming-Son. But yeah, Kabak will play in European games. In my opinion, Davies will play some league games at some point. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Jurgen does integrate the plans. Spurs would never sell to us. Yeah. Richard, 1-0 up at United. Boo! Oh, why'd you tell me that, Richard? But obviously, Arsenal got beat, which is lovely to see. Southampton down to 10 men after 2 minutes. What a surprise there. It's probably a penalty, dare I even look. But yeah, who is the forward we have lined up? Not too sure, Richard, mate, but obviously Mitchell made the question anyway. He asked everyone in the comment section below if there was a forward that Liverpool would like to sign, ideally, try and be realistic. Who would you go for? Reds, the Pioneer Free could work. It'd be interesting, mate. Obviously, he's got his injury records, but I think, Jack, don't look like your backyard will be compensated after we all wanted was to see Virgil van Dijk with that title on that open top bus. Yeah, I tell you, we were having once lockdown, obviously pre-lockdown. There was, I think Brenda would have got in the kitchen. If you're wondering who Brenda is, it's my mum. She would have done a big, massive barbecue for all subscribers if we come round. But yeah, fingers crossed, all good and proper that we can in the future, mate. Fingers crossed. I got a feeling Davies will be a masterclass move. Jegza, fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. It's very exciting, like any signing when you bring them in. But given Klopp's record and obviously Michael Edwards' previous transfer record at Liverpool, could be looking at absolute two bargains, mate. Do you think Virgil van Dijk will come back before the end of the season? Teshti, I think possibly yes. But I don't think Liverpool would ever publicly put pressure on players. Obviously, with Jota, Klopp dismissed talk of that today. He said there's no injury update on Jota, but there has been a lot of talk in the Liverpool press scene at the minute. He is possibly ahead of schedule. We've spoken about Minamino going. I think it'd be wrong for Liverpool. Yes, Shaqiri's been getting a lot of game time. Origi's been getting a lot of game time. But I think Jota coming in, I think that has helped the burden of obviously the forward players as well. Don't mind Kabak. 2-0 United. Oh no. True. But Michael Edwards and co are smart business wise too. He'll be 29 in the summer and will cost a bomb. Suits our playing style, but not our transfer plans. Anyway, so 2-1 Palace. That's a Newcastle. Oh, no surprise there. Anyway, Virgil van Dijk is out for the season. We'd like to need to stress no more. If Ginny leaves, getting on a bit. Keita not good enough. I think we need one or two midfielders, Tielemans and Grealish. You never know, Tom. I absolutely love Ginny and Millie getting on a bit. I think Millie's getting younger and younger and younger. He's the Benjamin Button of the Premier League. Of course, I get hiccups at the wrong time. But thank you very much, everyone that's dropped a like on the video as well. It's keeping up to date. But I'm not too sure if it fits our style, but Kramaric has scored a lot for Hoffenheim. Be interesting. Obviously, he's very direct striker anyway. He's a big lad, but as I said, yeah, I don't think Liverpool, you go for that tender striker. We've sold a couple of them for a couple of mil. Obviously, Benteke, Andy Carroll, yes, that was pre-Jurgen Klopp, but I think Benteke is possibly one of the best strikers in world football, possibly. if he lived up to his potential, if he played that style, mate. But we'll go straight onto the Brighton game now, mate. It'd be interesting to quickly get the team selection. Oh, I'm not gone enough there. There we go. This was the squad that featured for Brighton, everyone. So possibly Ben White. He's been hugely impressed for me. I know my mate Tom, he's a massive Leeds fan. He was on loan at Leeds United last season. And I think this is a big plus for them. Lewis Dunk as well, Webster. And obviously, it was the young lad, not the goalkeeper that went to Arsenal. What's his name? Matt Ryan. He's left to Arsenal on loan. But what were your thoughts on their game against Tottenham, mate? And obviously, you've had a big result against Leeds United the week before as well, mate. And the 1-1 draw in which Liverpool did have. Yes, it was a dodgy penalty. Don't get me started on that Welbeck challenge, mate. But what do Liverpool really need to do going into this game, mate?
I think, well, from our point, just be ourselves, like we have done against Tottenham, like we did against West Ham. I think that's the more important thing. I think, of course, Brighton, they're gonna be, well, I think they're probably better than the likes of West Ham and like a Burnley, for example. They're not going to go as low block as many teams. They are going to try and play their own style of football. But like you said, Ben White has been their best centre back all season. Of course, having a phenomenal season last year in the Championship with Leeds. Of course, we were linked with Ben White, but English centre backs from the Premier League, they cost you 50 million, not 2 million. So that's the real shame. But or 80 million or 80 billion. But yeah, like their best attacker for me is probably Trossard. As you can see, he played against Tottenham. I think
great goal that one.
Yeah, like he could be, quite easily in a top tier Premier League team. Next season onwards. I think he definitely deserve it. Of course, but like I said, I think if we play our own game, and I think if we don't do like we did against Burnley and just try and cross it in from every single angle possible and just try and work a little bit better with the ball and try and figure the game out, then I think we should be able to win. But of course, this is our first home game since losing the record. I just don't want to lose another game at Anfield.
It's we've got to start our record again, haven't we, boys? We've got to get back onto winning ways at Anfield. It was a big game against Burnley yet again. Every game in the Premier League, like we've seen over the last 2 years, and there's no easy game really in terms of going into the Brighton game. Graham Potter, his side, and Jurgen Klopp spoke very glowingly in his press conference today. He's impressed in how Graham Potter has his side playing. He played the right way in the Premier League, and possibly when I first seen him this season against Chelsea on the opening day, yes, they got battered 3-1, but by no means that they give Chelsea an absolute runaround, really, and possibly on another day could have come away from that game with all 3 points, really, mate. But I think Jurgen Klopp, and it's about Liverpool getting consistency now in it, Connor. I mean, this point last season, it was like the run of 15, 16 league games, victories. So this now is where Liverpool need to get the consistent runs and build a run of form. Because I tell you, off the back of the 2 results in which you've mentioned, the West Ham game, Spurs game as well, it's so integral that Liverpool look to this game, analyse it, and just whatever win, if it's 1-0, 2-0, 5-0, get this result over the line, and then we can build on that. And then going into the Manchester City game, it's about getting consistent levels. And yes, Brighton, it could, as you mentioned, we could be playing against a low block side that will come to Anfield, but Brighton are never going to do that. Yes, they might play with 5 or 3 at the back, adapting the wing backs, really sit back a bit deeper and try to look to hit Liverpool on the counter attack now. But the way in which Liverpool have been playing over the last 2 games, most importantly, Trent is back on top of his game. Would you start Curtis Jones off the back of the impact in which he had against West Ham coming off the bench, or would you look to see him possibly get... I think we've got to drop Millie just for this year, just to give him a rest.
Yeah, I think Curtis Jones 100% starts. against Brighton. Of course, we did see his impact straight away against West Ham, which I think is very, very crucial. I think Jurgen said that, Millie's hamstring was going a little bit in that West Ham game, and I think that Millie might even start against Man City. So I think you should probably save him for him. Do you bring in the likes of Ox for this game? Possibly. Does Thiago keep his spot? I think that's the thing now. It's like, who do we want to keep and who do we want to rest towards Man City? Who is needing a rest? Genie. He just keeps on playing football. Week in, week out, which we all love to see. Yeah, he is superhuman, but it will take its toll at one point of the season. When will that happen? Who knows? But it is now the sense of who are we going to play? I think we'll probably play a three of I think Genie, Thiago, and Curtis Jones is probably the proper midfield three for us. Maybe Klopp might change system a little bit for this game. He could even go with a two in midfield and play Shaqiri up top and Origi. But I just think he'll go simple 4-3-3 and just play.
Just go for it.
Yeah, just go for it, get 3 points, and then we go into that crucial game then against City on Sunday. And that if we win that, then the title looks definitely on.
Yeah, absolutely spot on there, lads. Get to a couple of my comments. Try and read them out as quick as I can because I know Connor is very busy tonight. So, absolute legend. I do appreciate taking the time out, mate. Just get to all your comments as well just before we do go. Thank you, everyone that has watched tonight. We're not going now. We're just going to read all your comments as well. Just the last comments. Make sure you do get your starting 11 in before we do shoot off anyway. But I will feature every single one of your comments. If you have missed them, let me know in the comment section below. But thank you for everyone that's tuned in. Drop the like on the video as well. And I will leave, and I have done, left Connor's link to his channel, Connor from the Cop Count. Make sure you head over there. He's live in about 5 minutes. So go and check out his channel. But thank you, absolute legend, Connor. Let's get to all your comments. If Ginny, I've read that one, mate. Thank you. So many comments. Read that one as well. It will be a damn squid if we don't win something and celebrate the title from last season, in my opinion. Mitchell, I tell you, mate, fingers crossed. Obviously, shout out to all the key workers and NHS staff and medical staff around the world doing absolutely fantastic job anyway. The real heroes in society. But yeah, fingers crossed we can eventually celebrate, mate. Being realistic, I think we'd get another forward who's versatile. I'd think someone like Daka, obviously Salzburg or Marcus Fordham. Yeah, very, very good players. When I've seen Fordham is at Borussia Mönchengladbach, he's very adaptable across the forward line. He's scored a couple of goals this season against Real Madrid, which is great. Question, why are Liverpool fans turning on Gini Wijnaldum but hate Michael Owen for doing the same thing? We don't, mate. It's just the odd silly sausage on Twitter anyway. I think the overall 99.5% love Gini Wijnaldum and the work he does for this football club. He started the ball rolling, getting that goal the last game of the season to secure Liverpool Champions League football, really, and started the Jurgen Klopp revolution. I love him, mate. Yes, he doesn't get you goals or assists. He does all the work that you don't necessarily notice on a football pitch. I think if there was a Genie cam on Sky or something, I think it just highlights him and Henderson. They're not your Kevin De Bruyne or your Bruno Fernandes style players. They do the absolute hard work, and I think Sergio Busquets, he was at the heart of that great Barcelona side. Yes, he wasn't a Xavi or an Iniesta, but he done the work that allowed the great players around him to really flourish, mate. But yeah, we absolutely love Ginny. And I think maybe Ginny, because Ginny wanted a 4-year deal, but Liverpool offered 3. I think he is going, Richard. I think the consensus, really, majority of Liverpool fans, we have come to realisation of Ginny sadly leaving the football club. We don't want him to leave, but he's got big aspirations, really. It depends what his family and all that. Might want to move to Spain or go back to Holland anyway. Guardiola apparently claiming Aguero won't be back for your game against Hughes. Mind games already from the checkbook manager himself. Absolutely spot on there, Ryan. Obviously, they've been playing Ferran Torres up front, and he played, I think, De Bruyne in a number 9 position, haven't he, this season? But that's what happens when you can spend multi-billions on fantasy football in the Premier League. So, my lineup: Chris Welsh, Alisson, Arnold, Phillips, Henderson, Robbo, Thiago, Ginny, Jones, Shaqiri, Salah, and Origi. Yeah, I think I'd go with that, mate. Spot on there, Chris. I'd no idea about that. That's a big difference. I don't know. I really do appreciate all you speaking to one another. That's why I created my channel, Reds, to speak with one another in the comment section below. It's absolutely fantastic. So say Firmino, Mane, and Fabinho for the City game. Chris has gone with a 3-1 prediction. But who comes in for Gino Ronaldo next season? Obviously, Jones will play a lot, but I think we need another, as Milner will be around much longer, and otherwise others are approaching their 30s. I tell you what, Richard, I think we'll see Milner playing to his 50s at this rate, and this Liverpool current team anyway. But yeah, Naby Keita will be interesting if he does continue to get injured. I think Liverpool will be addressing the midfield issues. But fingers crossed, all being good, we can move Fabinho and Henderson back into midfield. Brighton are a good team, being unlucky this season. Winning versus Tottenham was justified. Brighton will stay up this season. Spot on there, Chris. Milner are my favourite players. Gary Mack showed older players really helped Liverpool. Oh, Gary Mack, what a player, mate. Oh, what a fantastic sign that was.
Legend.
Yeah, we have to win. Brighton going into the City game on Sunday. Spot on there. It's brilliant. Kite is my all-time favourite player, Dirk House. He was on, obviously, Sky Sports News yesterday, if you missed it. He was doing his own Jeff Stelling, wasn't he, on Sky. Richard's gone with a 2-0 for Liverpool. United, 3-0. Oh, you never know. Comebacks on. Richard, I have to admit, I was against Milner coming through. It was boring, could play football, but he's proved me wrong within the 6 months. Yeah, he's very versatile, mate. You can always back on a very versatile Jimmy, not just for his ability on the pitch, but for what he brings to the personality of the football club and the changing room. You need these big players. And the podcast lads went with Alisson, Trent, Phillips, Hendo, Robbo, Ginny, Ox, Thiago, Salah, Bobby, and Manny. Greetings, all good people. Up to Reds. Greetings, John. It's Fordham. Jack, Marcus Fordham, son. Fordham. I think I'm thinking of someone else. You're probably screaming at the screen, mate, going, "It's not that." Sorry, Mitchell. You know what I've like. You've watched me for years with my pronunciations. Not the best. I can't wait for someone in the comment section below once this video has been uploaded. You've said it wrong. Well, thank you, Mitchell. Ali, Nico, Nat, Henderson, Robinson, Genie, Ox, Jones, Origi, Milner, and Salah. Trent and Thiago on the bench to rest them for the City game. Nice one, John. John was gone with a 3-1 to Brighton. Salah hat-trick. Oh, that made it 15. Premier League number 18 goals. What did I tell you? If he bangs an hat-trick, John. Richard, I'm just going to stop reading your comments. Every time you comment, United score. Well, thank you very much, Reds. I really enjoyed the stream, guys. How often are you on, Richard? If I got to kick up the backside, it'd be every night, mate. But I'm trying to go every night. I know Connor's on. If you haven't subscribed to the Cop Council, make sure you do head over there now. He'll be on now. He's going to absolutely kick me backside in because I'm a bit late for this show. But yeah, make sure you do head over there, mate. He'll be live for the next hour. Seeing 2 absolutely outrageous, stupid red cards tonight. Leno and that young lad from Southampton. Turam, sorry, Jack, it's just triggered me. So I probably triggered Connor behind closed doors. So I get off the stream and go, it's not pronounced that way. But no, spot on. Hopefully you're safe and well, Mitchell. Anyway, it's an absolute pleasure to speak to you, Ryan, Richard, the 1892 Reg podcast, Jegster as well, Chris Welch, Atom as well, Genie the Dragon, every single one is. And if you're watching this video once it's been uploaded, I really do appreciate it. And Connor, what socials can everyone check you out, mate?
At the Cop Council, everywhere, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram.
Absolute legends. As always, thank you for coming on, mate. And head over to the Cop Council. We'll be live in a little second anyway. So check out this channel, subscribe here if you're new, and drop a like on the video. Really does help the algorithm. Absolute legends. Thank you so much, Reds. And I can't wait for this Brighton game. Hopefully we absolutely smashed them. But very big, pivotal 3 points in the title race coming up tomorrow night. But Reds, I will see you tomorrow for a live stream watch along. So bear with me, and that will be going live. So can't wait for that. But Connor and Reds around the world, keep safe and well, and we'll see you tomorrow for another episode. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.